Hey everybody, it's time to Nefis and chill, and I'm going to talk about the religion system in the upcoming MMORPG Ashes of Creation. This system isn't something too many people have hyper-focused on compared to things like the awesome node system or the really cool concepts of naval warfare and player interactions, but I still think it's really important to cover it as it adds quite a bit of immersion and complexity to what one could argue is already too much ambitious feature creep for an upcoming MMO. Subscribe to the channel for an upcoming lore video on the world of Vera in Ashes of Creation, as this video won't be covering what gods are which, or the origin stories of the races and so on, but rather will cover how players interact with deities and religions in the game. Just as a basic overview of the world building, yes, there are gods that represent various aspects of emotion and the universe, such as love, hope, truth, and so on, with an opposing pantheon of gods that represent the more bad or grayish aspects of life. Of course, where there are gods, there are religions and cults and organizations. Players can join one of up to at least 3 of these organizations, each being an Order of the Seven, called the Order of Hope, the Order of Fate, and the Order of Truth. At least that's as far as we know so far. And within each of these organizations, there are hierarchies in which players can progress through it. It's been hinted that players can pursue worship of the non-good gods, but this will be a completely different side system of quests that enable players to go off-trail to worship those darker gods, rather than joining organizations or temples found in cities and so forth. Creative director Stephane BC has emphasized that the religion system in Ashes of Creation will be more than an aesthetic choice, but one of actual function that goes beyond surface level roleplay. For example, players will be able to get unique titles the more they progress through their religion and organization of choice. These titles will also allow players to unlock special abilities, roles, or stats during in-game world events and PvP sieges as well that may help you in actual combat. Religious progression will also let you unlock unique items from shops, unique discounts in shops, and special augmentation to your primary combat skills. It seems from some developer comments made so far that the power of such augmentation and skills isn't going to be too high, as the intent of the religion system is to be a horizontal model of progression or power scaling, more so than it would be vertical. I'm a little skeptical of this proposed aspect, as players can choose not to follow religion. The former lead game designer Jeffrey Bard commented that players would be missing out on a lot of what the game has to offer. I think best case scenario for this kind of effect on combat balance from religion would be to have them be more flavor rather than completely off the walls combat stats. Players can only choose one religion at a time, unlocking quests specific to that religion, and a ranking system to determine your progression through that religion. While you can change your religion at any point in time and convert to a different one, you heathen, you'll lose progress in the previous religion choice. Religions could have a significant role to play in the heavily anticipated node system of Ashes of Creation, such as the construction of temples in divine-type player nodes that may encourage player competition between different religions for land within those nodes, and of course these temples will probably play a role in the aforementioned siege events. Furthermore, within the housing system of Ashes of Creation, players will be able to build their own personal shrines to their gods on their own plots of land that grant additional progression within the chosen religion and gives access to players to tithes made to their gods. So far, looking at what the developers have said about the religions and religion system in Ashes of Creation, I am pretty excited for it, as other MMOs, including the Elder Scrolls Online, I feel like missed out big time on the aspect of cult or religious worship that interacted in interesting and immersive ways with players. I've always found it weird that a lot of so-called MMORPG games shy away from the concept or idea of religions, even though that may be a big part of the RPG part of MMORPG, especially with the background and aesthetic of characters. It always confused me as well, because on a human level, religion, despite whatever your beliefs or lack of belief is, it does play a big part in culture and also, of course, the development of an individual. To see Ashes of Creation focus a little bit more on the religion aspect while promoting in-game player interaction when not just a system, but also with or against one another, is quite a breath of fresh air. I really like the idea that different religious organizations will have to vie for limited spots in the city for their churches or temples or construction of whatever, and I really love the idea of religion playing a greater role than simply an insignia or emblem or title or some random label on your character's stat sheet that does nothing really, or let people know who you really worship, what kind of player are you, and so forth. Unfortunately, I haven't really heard or seen too much about potential PvP wars or faction conflicts being able to start between players on the basis of religion. So maybe there will be something for the Deus Vult lads waiting for their next crusade in Ashes Creation, not sure. I am still intrigued by how the combat balance could potentially be affected by religious progression, and I am definitely intrigued by this kind of like vaguely talked about option of following the darker gods instead of just strictly following the good gods that you can choose to follow. So hopefully we'll see more details on the religion system as time goes on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I am pretty excited about the religion system in Ashes Creation. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and make sure to join our Ashes Academy Discord server or my personal server if you want to talk more about Ashes. Wherever you may be, stay safe, have fun, and see you guys next time.